everyone, welcome to the new video. So today we will see some DevOps project that you can try and practice. So without further ado, let's start. So this is a official website of Kubernetes documentation, kubernetes.io. If you go inside docs and then search for tutorials. So in that you will get the stateless application and then the stateful application. So there are two projects given which we can practice in stateful application also, like example deploying WordPress and MySQL with persistent volume. Then second is example deploying Cassandra with a stateful set, running Zookeeper, a distributed system. So we can go through that as well. And in stateless application we have two things: exposing external IP address to access an application in a cluster, and then deploying PHP guestbook application with Redis. So these four exercises we can do and we can get good hands on. So this exposing an external IP address to access an application in a cluster is basically, before you begin, you can install kubectl or you use a cloud provider like Google or Amazon to create a Kubernetes cluster. So you can do configure kubectl to communicate with your Kubernetes. Basically they want that you should have a cluster running inside which we will do the deployment, and we should have kubectl also in kubectl also there, so that we can communicate with the Kubernetes cluster. So basically they have given that they have already given the YAML file. You need there should be 5 pods running, and we will create a service for this pod. So hello world, 5 replicas, and this is the match label, just load balancer example, whatever the image it is using. We need to do kubectl apply -f, so that once we apply it, the replica set of 5 starts running. So when we'll use these commands, we will see that there will be replica sets and deployments in place. Okay, now when we want to create a service object that exposes the deployment, there we need to use command kubectl expose deployment hello world, because our deployment was named as hello world, right? So this is the name of our deployment, and the service that we are using is type load balancer, and the name of the service that we want to give. Once this you do, you will see that once you do kubectl get services my service, it will show these details: my service type, cluster IP, external IP port. So as the type is service is backed by the external, if you are doing it on minikube or something, it will be very difficult to use load balancer, because it doesn't back load balancer. You need to use tunnel and all, and to do achieve it. But if you are doing it on cloud provider, it will be very easy. So when you describe your service, you can see the labels and everything, the load balancer, the IP and all. We just need to if we kubectl get pods IP, how to access our application is curl http external IP and port. So external IP we got from when we did kubectl get service, right? We got this IP, so that IP we need to use, external IP. And the port number is basically we gave in the metadata. Okay, so that we need to use. The port is the value of the port in your service description. Okay, so basically we need to use it, and once you will hit this curl command you will do, or you will hit this in our browser, you will see that the application is up and running. So this is one that will one example that will give you good understanding about load balancer service. Similarly is deploying PHP guestbook application with Redis. So here we will have Redis pods created. So basically there will be one leader and 2 followers, the request can go either of three. Then there will be front end of PHP, and then we'll create a service, and the communication will happen according to the application code. So as you can see that these tutorials are just not a production ready, but it's a simple project. We need to start up a Redis leader, then start up two Redis followers, start up the guestbook front end, and then expose and view the front end service. So basically you can try it in labs. If we don't, we can do it on Minikube as well. But if you don't have any cluster, you can create one by using Minikube. So basically we need to first start up the Redis database by using this Redis leader. So this is a leader one which we are creating, and the replicas is only one, right? And we know the name Redis leader, and when we do it, we will see the pod running of Redis leader. So now this we have to create the service for Redis leader. So we created the service with this name only, Redis leader, and port we have given, port and the target port. We are applying it, and when we do the kubectl get service, we will see the Redis leader service available. Now we'll set up the Redis followers. So the metadata name will be Redis follower, and the replicas will be 2, right? And once this is done, we'll do apply. We'll see that now the two Redis followers are also running. Now creating the Redis follower service. So they basically will be Redis follower service will be created. We'll apply and we'll get the service of Redis follower. Now we need to set up so basically now we'll create a front end pods. By there will be 3 replicas for front end, and the container and all we will define. We'll create a the pods for the front end, and basically the front end should be exposed. So Redis service you applied is only accessible within the Kubernetes cluster, because we cannot expose it, because the default type of service is cluster IP. So basically within the cluster the pods can communicate, but outside the data won't go, the communication won't happen, right? Now when we created the service for front end as well, and if we see, there will be front end service, there is Redis follower, Redis leader. Now we can view the front end service using kubectl port forward, and once you do this, when you run this command, no, you just have to, it will start for port forwarding the traffic, and once you will just so that is just locally it will run. It is not something which we are exposing on a external load balancer, and it will be visible, because we are not using any cloud provider. This is friendly to Minikube. If we want to view the front end service as a load balancer, we need to of course change the type to load balancer, and then we'll see the external IP and do that, right? So we can scale the web. What are the commands to scale it up? And then so basically you must be thinking that how the communication between the front end and the Redis will happen, right? We are just creating the pods, creating the service, and that's it. So basically in our application code, we need to define in the properties that this is a host name, Redis host name that we are going to use. This is the password that it will be using. So in this way it will be defined in our application code or properties only, that which database it needs to connect to, and in this way it will come to know, okay, that from the front end service to Redis service the data should be communicated, right? So pod and pod communication doesn't happen. It is through the services that communication will happen, because the pods IP addresses are ephemeral. They are dynamic. They don't stay. Pods can be deleted as well. So that's why services are used for the static IP address. Similarly, we have two example of stateful application of deploying WordPress and Cassandra that we'll understand in the next video. So yeah, that's all for today's video. I hope it's helpful. Please let me know your views in the comment section. Till then, take care. Bye.